That's the way it's trying.
69-year-old Tommy McComb is a man who knows his business, and his business is shining. Tommy McComb has been shining shoes in Huntsville for at least 40 years or more. The past 4 years, he's set up shop at Charlie Martis's barbershop downtown.
So y'all competed and who could shine the shoes the best?
Yeah.
And who won the 20?
Customers like Dino Farrell have been visiting Tommy for years.
Oh, I guess I probably started back in the mid-'60s and known Tommy since then. Nothing changed but his waist.
Tommy McComb is one of the last of the shoeshine boys, as they were called. He can still pop a rag, but seldom does. Can you make music on it?
Sometime. Just cause popping a rag don't shine no shoe. It don't never touch it.
Why they always do it in movies and stuff? Just sounds good.
Just sounds good, play a tune.
Tommy McComb shines about 20 pair of shoes a day, 5 days a week, for $3 to $5 a pair. Tommy McComb says he's probably going to retire from shining shoes when he can't shine no more. But at the rate he's going now, that may be a long, long time. Or at least he's hoping so. In Huntsville, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. And I don't need a shine, but thanks anyway.
Sometimes that works.
30-year-old Mark Swartz of Huntsville just may be the closest thing to a buffalo expert in the state.
Buffalo do not moo. They grunt, and you'll be able to hear them here in just a minute.
They grunt loud. Does that mean move?
No, you have to watch for the tails. When those tails go up in the air, that's when you need to move. That's when they're serious. So far, we're in pretty good shape. You can walk up about another 10 feet. You'll be all right. Go ahead.
Thanks.
Swartz, vice president of Swartz Industries, is also the overseer of some 20 head of genuine buffalo. The buffalo were originally brought here by Mark's father, Bob, from North Dakota 10 years ago when they were first removed from the endangered species list. Bob Swartz today has another herd on his North Dakota ranch.
Can go anywhere he wants to.
Yeah, but they don't. That's the surprising part. They don't go anywhere they want to. They stay, once they find their home, which is inside this fence, usually they don't try to get out.
Do you see a chain of Buffalo Burgers opening up in the future?
Oh, I don't know. I think the meat has potential. I think you're going to see a big expansion in the retailing of the meat. They don't do much. That's true. They don't do a lot. But they don't cause a lot of problems, and they taste good. So I guess that's the best thing you can say about buffalo.
It ain't exactly the Wild West, but they are buffalo. They just don't make very good house pets, or at least according to Mark Swartz. But in the future, don't be surprised if they don't make very good eating. With North Alabama's only buffalo herd, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. And you for sure have to watch where you step. You can go and put your hat back on.
45-year-old Cleveland Jr. Sweeney is one of the town of Ardmore's best-known citizens.
So everybody, I guess, knows Sweeney from years back.
He's one of the main one in Ardmore. Everybody knows Sweeney.
I just don't want to see him, that's all.
For nearly 3 decades, Sweeney has traveled the streets of Ardmore by pedaling his bike while at the same time pulling his wagon load of cans, not to mention giving free advertising to those fortunate enough to have a sticker placed on his wagon. Besides picking up cans and anything else that might be worth $1, Sweeney doesn't have much to say.
I guess everybody knows you, don't they?
Yep.
You know a bunch of people here?
Yeah.
You don't say much either, do you?
I'm a quiet man.
A quiet man?
Yeah.
Sweeney makes his rounds just like clockwork each and every day. To him, it's good exercise, and a job's a job.
When it comes to getting around town and being known by everyone, Cleveland Sweeney is probably the most popular fella in town. Is that right?
That's right.
You want people to throw out cans before you can get them?
Yeah.
Turn that on. He might even be the next police chief. In Ardmore with Cleveland Sweeney. I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. All right.
Harold Hill is nicknamed the Goose, and with good reason. 15 years ago, Hill had 4 Canada geese on his 17-acre pond known as Lake Rosemary, located in Madison County. Today, Hill has 400 resident Canada geese.
Well, this is one of the happiest times for me in the mornings when we come out here and feed them and watch and see how many is going to come in and what directions, and try to count them, and when they land, try to count, see how many is banded. Like to kind of see our handiwork.
During hunting season, as many as 1,000 wild geese stay at Lake Rosemary. Geese are just something special to Harold Hill.
They're so special because of their family ties, the way they take care of their family, how they depend on each other, how they take care of their young goslings. They're almost human. And, we just hate to see them get killed, but we know that's part of it. But they're special to us.
Tomorrow, Hill is unveiling a goose memorial in honor of Greg Myers, who died 3 years ago in a fireworks accident.
Harold Hill's ultimate goal is to have some 2,000 Canada geese calling Lake Rosemary their winter home. At the rate he's going, his dream is not far away. At Lake Rosemary, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
Athens veterinarian Bruce Young has a big problem with one of his pets. His pet is Julia, an 8-month-old, 250-pound pig that he found back in February. His problem? It's against a city ordinance to keep a pig in your backyard in the city of Athens. Young lives about 2 blocks from the courthouse square.
She's caused quite a stir, but we're having a lot of fun. And she's enjoying her life here in the city. Well, I think, yeah, we've appealed to go to the circuit court here, and then after that, we'll just see what happens.
Now, they're telling you that it's against the law?
It was against an ordinance they had here, and all I've said is she's a pet and not being raised for any meat production, and she's not going to have piglets, so I'm not raising pigs. I just had a pig for a pet.
Not only has Julia become a household name in Athens because of her legal battle, but she's also known for her thirst for sundrop.
Why sundrop?
Why sundrop? That's what I had the first night I caught her. She was thirsty, and so...
I guess she's lucky you weren't drinking a beer.
Yeah, she might have a drinking problem now.
Dr. Young says if he loses in court, he'll move Julia to the country. But one thing is for sure, she won't end up on the dinner table, no matter what.
It's a couple more months before Julia has her court date. So in the meantime, she's going to be living the life of a city slicker here in Bruce Young's backyard and enjoying her favorite drink. Get that in there. Oh, well. In Athens, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Just like making a pig of yourself when you're thirsty.
Well, as far as full service is concerned, you can't find it anymore.
When 56-year-old Bobby Turner of Athens first opened his Shell station on Highway 31, full service was all there was. 30 years ago, when Turner opened, gasoline was 32 cents a gallon. Today, as Turner prepares to close his station, the same gasoline is $1.06.
What you need? It needs to be oil change, filter, just whatever. You whole service. You're at the right place.
Bobby Turner's closing his service station to work full-time for his church. Not only does Turner hold a degree in education, he's also a preacher, and he's never opened on Sundays and once married a couple on his grease rack.
Wasn't it hard not to open on Sunday?
It can be done. I just believe that there's something more important than just making money. And I had other things to do on Sunday.
And now, in grease rack, you married somebody here.
Yeah, we had a wedding here, so it was closing time. We closed the doors, came out here on the grease rack, and the boy that was working for me was the witness, and we performed the ceremony, and as far as I know, they're still living together, and that's been at least 20 years.
Being in this location, Turner is asked time after time the same question: how to get to Interstate 65.
We've been given directions here how to get back to I-65 for years, and now I'm going to give directions how to live in eternity, and I hope that works.
Bobby Turner's going to close his Shell service station Monday. When he does, another of the few remaining full service stations becomes a thing of the past. In Athens, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
On the McNatt farm in Limestone County, when it comes to working, John Deere is the name of the game. And also when it comes to playing. Brothers Perry and Ted McNatt, when they're not farming their 3,000 acres, well, they're working with their toys, the 1936 Model A and the 1949 Model B John Deere. The McNatts have completely restored this 36 model, which was the first year John Deere put rubber tires on their tractors.
What makes this one so special?
Well, it's so old. One thing about it, it's got the spoke wheels, no starter. This is a starter right here.
You'd hate to have to use it in the field, wouldn't you?
I sure would. But back in those days, anything was better than walking behind a mule.
Well, this one's just a newer model, and it's got electric starter.
That made a big difference, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
The McNatts just recently purchased this 49 model from a farmer down the street who bought it new in 1949. The McNatts will have their tractor on display tomorrow at the Antique Engine and Farm Machinery Show near Athens.
If Perry and Ted McNatt have their way, their 49B will be looking just as good as their 36A in just a few months. And if John Deere ever needed two super salesmen, the McNatt brothers are it. In Elkmont, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Nothing runs like a Deere, is that true?
That's true.
All right.
Nowhere does a store come close to comparing to the Farmers Exchange on Main Street in Arab. For almost 90 years, folks have come to what some consider a landmark, others an eyesore, to find just about anything that they wanted. From chickens and turkeys to shelling peas, the Farmers Exchange has always had it all.
Raise these to fight. This one's not as mean as... Oh, got me there.
Gordon Warren has been coming to the exchange since he was old enough to remember.
What do you remember about this place when you were a kid?
But not too much difference. Not the same products, same people, same looking.
Was this the place in Arab 70 years ago?
One of the few, yes.
Since December, Dinah Sims and her family have been the owners of Arab's best-known store.
Everybody comes in wants to buy the old telephone. Of course, it's not for sale. And the signs and the permits and things on the wall, it looks like wallpaper. There's so many of them. People want to buy something from the old store because it's just it's an old landmark. It's like a real old person. There's so much, you could learn from it if it could talk.
You won't find many places, if any, like the Farmers Exchange. Changes here are something no one believes in, and that's really what makes this place the landmark that it is. At the Farmers Exchange in Arab, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
Tim Copeland has high hopes of opening a pet shop behind his house in Lawrence County. Well, for the time being, the pets he plans on selling are making themselves at home while Copeland finishes his construction. Copeland's pet shop will be called Copeland's Reptiles and Unusual Pets. Tim Copeland has about 40 different types of snakes, and these are the biggest.
Easy to keep. They're not that expensive to keep. A lot less easier to maintain. A lot easier to keep up. A dog or a cat or anything like that, you have to feed every day.
They keep people away?
Oh, yeah. Everybody comes up here and wants to know if there's a snake, huh?
You pretty strong?
Yes, real strong. He's a lot stronger than we are.
You ever fight them?
No. Just sometimes when you get them like this, it don't handle good.
The Beware of Dog sign is a bit misleading going into Copeland's house. It's here where he keeps the poisonous snakes.
Tim Copeland hopes to have his reptile and unusual pet shop open in about a month. And the Beware of Dog sign on the front door is the least of your worries here. I hope you fed him. In Lawrence County, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Well, like I play hide and go seek with a snake.
You want me to fill it up?
Yeah.
Fill it up.
If anyone knows what's going on in the small town of Scant City, it's 76-year-old Buster Kelly. And what's usually going on is Buster himself. Since he was old enough to talk, Buster claims he's been spitting out a tune. And when he's pumping gas at Martin's Market, a tune is exactly what you get.
1650. Cricket.
Thing out about where wheels on your buggy rolled away.
At the cross where the train scared my horse, and the wheels of my buggy rolled away. Went up on the mountain to get a load of cane, to make a barrel lasses, to sweeten Liza Jane. Tidy-yaddy-yanktum, just anything like that. Everybody loves it, the most of them, 99% of them. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. On that farm he had a little duck, quack, quack here and a quack, quack there.
Oh, he's a walking shrine, no doubt about that. He's a legend in his own time. Buster Kelly, he knows everything's happening in Kansas City, Alabama.
My name is Billy Barlow. I'm ragged and dirty, I know.
Buster Kelly would be the first to admit he's not much of a singer, but when it comes to entertaining customers, there ain't nobody any better. It's Kansas City with Buster Kelly. I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. You ain't much of a singer, you're right.
That's exactly right.
Okay, put your arm right here on the door. Look at me, but on a snappy picture. Okay, you ready? Here it goes. Okay, we got you.
32-year-old Charles Flynn of Henniger and his Valley trucking rig have been keeping the roads hot lately. Flynn, the owner of Big Brutus, the only six-wheel drive truck in the country, also is in possession of perhaps the most popular car in the world, the Batmobile.
Oh, what's going on with Gray? Getting bigger every week.
Every week, is it bigger than Brutus?
No, it's not hardly that big, but it's getting pretty close.
Flynn had Big Brutus and the Batmobile at the All-American Flea Market near Cullman Saturday. Needless to say, there was quite a crowd. Not only did the crowd get to see Brutus do his thing, but they were witness to a wedding in the back of Big Brutus.
If I could have your attention, please. I'd ask you to be as quiet as you can so everybody can hear, okay?
Jeff Smalley, who works for Flynn, and his fiancée Gwen Gardner of Fort Payne had the wedding of their dreams come true above the crowd. Preacher Dudley Brock conducted the ceremony, and everything came off without a hitch.
Whom therefore God hath joined together, let no man put asunder. Jeff, you may now kiss the bride.
Well, as weddings go, this one will certainly be hard to top, and who knows, Big Brutus nowadays may be a wedding chapel on wheels. Good luck, honeymooners. They're probably leaving the Batmobile. The All-American Flea Market, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Some wedding. How y'all gonna get down? Jump.
Yeah, just quarrel all you want to.
Finest Shed of Holly Pond claims to have the meanest pet around, and he just may have. His name is Buster, an 8-month-old, 15-pound White Rock rooster that just happened to fall off a chicken truck as a chick on the way to the processing plant. Since that fateful day, Buster has been raised by Finest Shed. And old Buster, he'll flog anything that gets near him or his master.
How mean is that rooster?
Plenty mean. He's a bad.
You ever seen one like that?
No, never.
I don't particularly like him. He don't like me.
You ain't scared of him, are you?
A little, yeah.
No.
Is he your buddy, that chicken?
Yeah, he's my buddy. Good buddy.
How come you the only one that can handle him?
Because I don't want to feed him. He's a real bodyguard. He'll see somebody coming or a car coming up, he'll go to crowing.
I can tell you from a first-hand experience, you don't turn your back on Buster. He is mean.
Why don't you get on this side? One thing you better not do when you come visiting Finest Shed, and that's ruffle the feathers of his watchdog Buster. Old Buster here is, he kind of rules the roost, and don't nobody mess with him, right?
Not at all.
In Holly Pond with Buster the Killer Rooster, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
About a half-mile up the Hoot Owl Holler Road in Hot Rock, Tennessee, there's something you probably wouldn't expect to find, a library.
I never give that a thought, a library, no. I don't think about a library being here.
What do you think about it?
Well, it's a good thing. It ought to be, people ought to appreciate it and patronize it.
74-year-old Carl Smith used to live where the recently opened Hot Rock Delrose Community Library is today.
What's your favorite book?
Well, I always like Mark Twain or Zane Grey or something like that, you know.
The library, in an 8x40 trailer with added space at the back, was a dream come true for Ivan and Janet Grable, who moved here from Montgomery 5 years ago. Mrs. Grable retired as the librarian for Huntington College in Montgomery.
Well, it's a lot smaller, I'll say that. And since that was a college library, this isn't quite as busy as that one was. But we have a few things that we don't have in a college library, so. Well, we have this bell on the front so that if we aren't down here, if we're up at the house, they can ring the bell and we'll hear it and come down and help them.
The Hot Rock Delrose Library in Hoot Owl Holler has some 5,000 books on its shelves. Overdue ones are a nickel a day. A couple of things about the Hot Rock Delrose Library is there's no traffic problem, plenty of parking, and lots of silence. In Hoot Owl Holler, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. I've about finished Toddy and the Fox. You got any more pictures?
I think we can find some.
Thank you.
Come you don't whittle?
Oh, my knife ain't too good. Another thing, it takes too much energy. I don't want to use up too much energy.
Douglas Adams is just one of the few who spend their time not whittling a piece of cedar on the whittler's bench in downtown Fayetteville, Tennessee. The others stay quite busy, whether whittling or in deep conversation.
We talk about friggin' more than anything else.
Talk about what?
Friggin'.
Friggin'?
You better watch out. That'll be on that.
What is friggin'?
I don't know. We don't know. As long as we've done anything like that, we don't know nothing about it. That's rigging on this bench.
Why?
You heard what he said.
Can't do nothing but talk?
Talk. I can't tell you too much about that. I never had too much experience in it.
Occasionally an out-of-town visitor shows up, especially this week during Fair Week, and the subject naturally goes to knives.
Well, that's really, I think, a case all around is the best trading knife and buying knife.
But this little thing here.
I got about 50 cases, all new, and I wind up carrying this little job.
Nice little knife. It is.
If you want to find out what's going on in and around Fayetteville, the best place to come is right here on the Old Whittler's Bench.
Old Whittler's Bench.
Old Whittler's Bench. There's another name for it, but we won't get into that. These guys here pretty much know any and everything that's going on in and around town.
You don't do your job if you don't do it right.
In Fayetteville, on the Old Whittler's Bench, among other things, Jamie Country Rover, Jamie Cooper. That suit you?
Yeah, good.
I'm just cleaning out the nostril here, and there's a tiny little gland here, or duct.
Ellen Hodgen and her assistant Brenda Hauser aren't quite animal doctors, but they're close, very close. Hodgen is what you could call chief of staff at this area's only known hospital.
Come on, walk.
Located in the town of Somerville in Morgan County, the hospital is just like a hospital, except here, naturally, the patients are horses.
I started it because there was a need. A lot of people have sick horses, and the veterinarian gives them their expertise, and they go home, and then they go, golly, what am I going to do now? Because I don't have hot water, and I don't have a way to restrain the horse, and I don't know how to bandage. So I knew those things, and I had the right facility because we'd been showing horses, so I thought I'll use it that way to help people. And besides, a lot of horses get poor care. It's mostly because of ignorance and lack of expertise, not lack of caring. Most people really care for their horses.
The hospital, in operation only a few months, is mainly for the convalescent care and grooming of horses. However, hospital specialist Ellen Hodgen also makes barn calls.
Yes, I do. I do. I make barn calls, and I look sort of funny, little old lady out trotting around with my little bag of tools. But
according to the staff here at the hospital, horses are more than just overgrown pets. They need care too. And if you've got a horse that needs a little extra caring for, bring them here to the hospital. At the hospital in Somerville, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
Maddie Haney was a Marshall County mail carrier for almost 60 years. She died 2 weeks ago. This is her story. It's business as usual every day at the Union Grove Post Office, and for the past 57 years, Maddie Haney has been one of the regular employees. At 77, when most folks have long since retired, Maddie Haney keeps right on working. Maddie Haney delivers, literally, every day. Since 1928, when Miss Haney began helping her husband with the mail, she has been going daily to communities like Union Grove, Pea Ridge, and Parches Cove. But many years ago, from time to time, the mail was delivered by the Haneys on horseback.
No, I don't ride a horse anymore. Couldn't ride a horse now.
There have been a lot of changes in Miss Haney's mail route through the years. Electricity and automobiles the biggest.
Well, you know, we didn't have power lines back in 28 and the 30s. Folks didn't get out of the cove often. There wasn't any cars down there. Well, when I rode a horse, I believe there's 2 cars down there.
One thing Maddie Haney told me years ago when I first met her was that delivering mail by automobile is a heck of a lot easier and a whole lot more comfortable than riding a horse. I guess it was. On Maddie Haney's old mail route in Parches Cove, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
67-year-old Robert Curry, chairman and CEO of the First National Bank of Pulaski, was more than just a banker. He was an innovator and a friend of everyone who knew him. Robert Curry was best known to me as being a banker who wanted his customers to be treated like someone special, and they were. His bank, with locations in Pulaski and Ardmore, was always doing something special. Bean Day was a big occasion in the winter, with gallons and gallons of pintos and white beans being served, and Mr. Curry always present. The dinner theater in Pulaski, which he started and served as a waiter, has raised almost $200,000 for charity since it was opened.
It may not be Broadway, but it's the next best thing here in Pulaski, and a big tip doesn't necessarily guarantee a big loan, or does it?
Well, it will help.
In Pulaski, Tennessee, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. You're doing a good job.
Thank you so much.
Robert Curry was a friend of mine, and I'll miss him, and so will a lot of others. 44-year-old Brian Hawkins of Vinemont has a nasty habit he doesn't want to get rid of. His nasty habit, in fact, has made him a world champion. Hawkins' nasty habit, the name given to his 77 mudslinging Chevy pickup, won him the 1989 World Mud Running Championship. It's an honor that means a lot.
What's it feel like to be the world champion?
It feels great.
What about having a nasty habit like this? You ever feel bad about that?
I do when I have to wash it after every race. Just bad nasty habit after that.
That's the only nasty habit you got?
That's it.
No smoking, no drinking, no chasing women?
Dip a little skull and that's it. My wife won't let me chase women.
Truck sponsors like Gary Moore of Gary Small Engineers is glad Hawkins has a nasty habit.
Yeah, I'd rather do the sponsoring than let him do the driving.
So it works out pretty good for you?
Mm-hmm.
Nasty habit and all. You ain't got no nasty habits, have you?
Not as I can think of.
It seems everyone in the Vinemont community likes the nasty habit, especially Dub the mascot. Hawkins keeps his prize-winning truck and all his trophies for folks to see at his business, Brian's Auto Service in Vinemont.
Brian Hawkins has no intentions of getting rid of his nasty habit, at least as long as it's still slinging mud, and that may be a long time. In Vinemont with Nasty Habit, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. What about you, Dub? You got any nasty habits? Dub. Nice shades.
If ever there was a sound of music, it was Saturday at the annual Athens Old Time Fillers Convention.
Just let your thoughts turn back once more, if you will, to that little cabin home on the hill. Oh, someone has taken you from me and left me here all alone. Just listen to the rain beat on my window pane in our little cabin home.
For folks like Leighton's Bell Terry and Fort Payne's 86-year-old Claude Cassidy, the Fillers Convention was the perfect place to strut their stuff.
We don't know any of these fellows here. They just drift up, and everybody's friendly, and everybody has a big time.
So you like to show off?
Oh, God, now.
Was that right?
No. Well, I guess everybody does, don't they?
When it comes to drawing a big crowd and showing out in front of everybody, nobody does it better than 86-year-old Claude Cassidy. The Old Time Fillers Convention with Claude Cassidy. Your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Hit it.
Oh, Jamie, I can remember just like it was yesterday. It started in 1928, completed in 1930, and I was 16 years old when the bridge started being built.
Was that a big thing here in Gunnersville?
It was a big thing. It certainly was.
77-year-old Bill Harris of Gunnersville should remember like it was yesterday when the George Houston Bridge was first constructed. Mississippi Bill, as he's known, practically grew up on the Tennessee River around the bridge. In fact, he's probably been under the bridge more times than anyone.
50 years ago, I was carrying passengers onto that bridge for 25 cents a ride, 3.5 minutes for 25 cents, Jamie, and carried thousands of people. 50 years ago, the first year the lake was backed up in January of 1939.
The bridge is kind of a part of you.
I hate to see her go down, but she should have been gone down, like I'll say again, when the new bridge was built. If the state of Alabama had built the new bridge 15 feet wider, we'd have had a 4-lane highway and have saved all these $14 million that they're going to spend on this new bridge here. That's the most stupid thing.
Next week should be the last time that traffic is able to cross the George Houston Bridge here in Gunnersville. And the state plans on demolishing the entire thing in a couple of years. But as far as Bill Harris is concerned, it should have been gone a long, long time ago. In Gunnersville, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
The king of the Cowboys. He's a bow shooter of hearts. Thank you.
That's what you say.
Yeah, that's what you are.
For almost as long as anyone can remember, there's been a pool room in downtown Hartselle. For folks like Plumer Brown and Squeaky Brown, no relation, the pool room has been and still is the place to be.
What do you like about this pool hall?
Well, I think it's a nice place to be at. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be coming in here.
What about all these guys?
Well, some of them's all right, and some of them ain't worth it.
Can't say that, Plumer. The past 32 years, Leon Holmes has been racking them up here at Holmes Pool Room. He opens at 7 a.m. and closes around 11 p.m., 6 days a week. And there's always something going on.
You know what I done? You made the 3 in the corner, then the 2 yellow balls. That's all you made. That's all you made.
All right, shoot, brother.
Mr. Johnson, y'all don't ever argue, do you?
No, we don't. Fight like hell sometimes.
You what?
We fight like hell sometimes. We never argue.
If you want to know what's going on in or around Hartselle, there ain't but one place to be, and that's right here at Holmes Pool Hall.
Well, right here you get Gino and he got the rest of it.
In downtown Hartselle, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Now, what y'all want to learn something about my Social Security down at the Social Security office? Couldn't learn today. Folks usually come into Hunter's Grocery in downtown Huntland, Tennessee for two things: old-fashioned country meat or football.
Yeah, you may cut one half in two. And let's cut one. We'll see which one's leanest there.
That's pretty good.
It's got some lean in it right there.
Yeah.
How big a piece you need there?
James Moody of Scottsboro comes for the meat, others for football talk, and nobody knows football better than store owner and lifelong resident, 74-year-old John Hunter. With this being the Alabama-Tennessee week and the biggest football game in years, the game naturally is the topic of conversation, especially since Tennessee coach Johnny Majors played his high school football here and is a lifelong friend of the Hunter family. But what makes it even more special is that Hunter is an Alabama fan and attended the University of Alabama in 1934 when Bear Bryant played for the Tide.
Well, I'll tell you, I'll be pulling for Alabama, but I kind of think Tennessee will win that game. But I got a little luck charm here, the Bear here. I always put that in my pocket the week before the Tennessee-Alabama game. Maybe it'll bring us a little luck.
Who's going to win the ball game Saturday?
I wouldn't know. I don't watch ball games.
Who's playing?
I don't know that because I don't even watch.
So you don't care if Alabama or Tennessee wins?
No, it don't matter to me.
The specialty of the house here is cooked cheese, bologna, and pork and beans, and of course football. And come Saturday, this quiet place right now will be packed with football fans watching Alabama beat Tennessee. Right. I knew I'd get that in. At John Hunter's Grocery in Huntland, Tennessee, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
A good salesman. Business has really picked up since Herman went to selling.
55-year-old Kelly Posey of Bluntsville knows a good salesman when he sees him. And to him, there's no one any better than Herman, the pumpkin salesman. Herman, dressed in overalls and worn-out tennis shoes, is actually an old store dummy that Posey found some 20 years ago. With a makeshift arm and string attached, Posey can relax and help Herman be the friendliest salesman in Blount County at their roadside stand on Highway 231 in Bluntsville.
Oh yeah, you couldn't beat Herman. He's a good one. As I said, business has really picked up since Herman started to sell him. Herman can sell anything. Yeah, he sells watermelons, cantaloupes, and potatoes and pumpkins. He's just done an extra good job this time.
The business has been so good thanks to Herman that Posey is practically closed. No more pumpkins. Well, once Herman is through here, it's back in the field and scaring crows. Herman may not be the best dressed, best looking, or most talkative salesman, but he is by far the friendliest. And around these parts, well, they call him the Lee Iacocca, the pumpkin business. In Blunsville, with Herman the Dummy, the pumpkin salesman, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. You know, Herman, my wife pulls my string. I get kind of tired of doing this all day long.
Thank you, fellows. Good morning. Welcome into Call and Tell, the program that is designed so you, the listener, can use your telephone as a microphone if you have items for sale, trade, giveaway, or you'd like to wish somebody a happy birthday.
Jim Hilly is the most popular man in Boaz every morning between 8:30 and 9:15. It's that time of day when Hilly, along with Ginger Rohan, do their radio show, Call and Tell, on WBSA Radio, a 1,000-watt AM radio station in Boaz.
Good morning, Call and Tell.
Good morning, Jim.
Hey, good morning to you.
This is Bill Williamson. I'm wanting to buy some persimmons. I've got some possums up over here that I'm fattening for.
Good morning, Call and Tell.
I'll tell you while I'm talking to you, I'll tell you what I have this morning for sale. I have a cooking stove. It's one of them what they call eye levels.
Yeah?
It's up on the table.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to bend over to light it. When in fact, it's got pilot lights on it.
This is our prime time. This is strictly prime time. We have people who listens to this that might not even listen to anything else,
Yeah?
but they tune in for this.
Call and Tell, good morning.
We have a problem.
All righty, tell me about it.
Anybody that knows how to get shed of moles, I'd like for them to call in. They are bad here at our place.
This is real radio. Real radio. There's no put on, there's no nothing. This is it. And I wouldn't trade it for nothing, you know.
If you want to buy something, sell something, or simply just say something, here in Boaz, there's simply no better place than on Call and Tell right here at WBSA Radio. And about those moles, well, one caller suggests the only solution was just pack up and move. In Boaz, WBSA Radio, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
Day like today, if it weren't the field, you might have 50 people on the street right up down through here.
81-year-old Riley Cooper is my grandfather. He worked back in the 1930s for 50 cents a day at one of Madison County's best-known and oldest family businesses, Butler Brothers in downtown New Hope. What did Butler Brothers mean to the people out in here?
Well, old saying, it's the backbone of the community or the country. They just had to come here to get service. A lot of people couldn't live if Butler Brothers hadn't furnished them. They fed them.
Are you one of those people?
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Butler Brothers first opened in 1858, not far from here. It's been in this building since 1909 and closed its doors permanently some 10 years ago. Butler Brothers was the Madison Square Mall of its day. It was the biggest and best place to shop. Tom Butler remembers well how things were around cotton picking time.
Covered up. Wagons and pickup trucks and big trucks and cotton wagons and everything all over the place. Just on both sides of the street, down the street.
Butler Brothers is for sale now, and there is the possibility the city of New Hope may purchase the historic building. So you miss a place like Butler Brothers?
Miss it. Do I miss it? Everybody misses it. And some of them won't admit it, but it's the truth. Everybody misses Butler Brothers.
There have been a lot of stores like Butler Brothers that have closed over the years, but according to folks like my grandfather, there have been very few, like this one, that have been missed by so many. At Butler Brothers in downtown New Hope, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
I'm going to use this big old steel nut here. I'm putting this slingshot right here, and I'm going to shoot right down about 75, 80 feet high up there.
All right.
I hope that's where it goes. It's about like, oh.
Harold Swindle is a professional when it comes to putting up Christmas lights. He should be. For the past 15 years or so, Swindle has decorated his home, including all of his trees, with thousands of Christmas lights.
But I'm not good as I used to be, but I can still put it up there.
Did you get that one?
Yes, sir. That's not where I wanted to go. Oh, I love this time of year better than I do any time. It's I have a lot of company this time of year.
You love doing this, don't you?
Oh yeah. This is art. People build houses. People build a lot of things, and I got to put lights up in trees.
Tomorrow night, Harold Swindle will once again flip the switch that lights up Christmas. But not only for him, but for the thousands of area sightseers that through the years have become a part of the Swindle Christmas tradition. In Cullman, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Luther Hargrove of Limestone County will celebrate his 90th birthday the 15th of May. Mr. Hargrove is a rare individual for this day and time. You see, Mr. Hargrove has never known the luxury of running water and indoor plumbing. He doesn't want it and never has. His bathroom is an outhouse. His water he draws from a well.
Oh, no, there's lots of people. Lots of people wouldn't have to draw a bucket of water out there. These young people. I don't know whether they would if they wanted to.
What do you think about that first?
And they've had so much this other stuff, they don't have any much.
Mr. Hargrove has been alone since his wife of 64 years died 8 years ago. They lived life like their parents did, and they never wanted to change it. And to hear Mr. Hargrove tell it, this well water is better than what comes out of the pipes. For 71-year-old Thomas Oden of Huntsville, this week has been gorgeous. Gorgeous, that is, for doing what he loves the most, plowing.
That ground's just right. Perfect. Look.
Well, never one to waste time in getting his garden ready, Oden was in hog heaven this week, preparing for planting and relaxing behind his 5-horsepower Lazy Boy tiller.
Isn't it kind of unusual to be out here in January, right at the first of the year plowing?
Yeah, I'll be out here in February, March. Yeah, I'm out here just about every month. I keep my ground ready to go. If I want to plant something tomorrow and it's dry enough, I'll be ready.
Oden claims he buys very few vegetables. Most of them, like this spinach, he grows right here in his garden spot beside Bob Wallace Avenue. He's also a firm believer in the Farmer's Almanac and has a little trust in weathermen, though not a whole lot.
Thomas Oden admits he's no weatherman, and Gary Dobbs does a good job from time to time. However, in his opinion, we're in for good weather now till spring. He's planting on it. In Huntsville, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. How's this stuff raw?
Good.
It's a lot better with dirt on it.
Dirt won't hurt you when it's clean.
Junk cars are a dime a dozen in North Alabama, and that's good news for folks like James McDonald and Larry Crow. McDonald and Crow are part of Crow's Auto Crushers of Albertville. They obviously crush cars for a living.
All the time we have people stop and film us with home video camera and stuff. There's a lot of people stop. They'll stop on the side of the road and watch.
You ever find anything in this car?
Oh, occasionally we find some stuff. We have found a nitroglycerin stick one time over in Georgia, and an old hand grenade one time. You find different things, chainsaws, tools, all different stuff.
At times, the 52,000-pound crusher smashes 100 cars a day. Making mincemeat of automobiles so more can be stacked on the truck is its sole purpose. And for McDonald, it's a dirty but often exciting job.
I'd say it's quite dirty, and other than that, it's pretty fun. You know, you get to watch the cars crumble down, Every now and then you run across a good stereo system in one. Gotta be quick getting it out.
Once these cars, that were at one time new and beautiful, are smashed to smithereens and stacked, they're moved on to their final destination, the auto shredder.
According to the car crushers here, that old Buick, Chevrolet, or Ford you once had might just wind up to be a smashing success after all. You're welcome to come and look. In Madison County with the car crushers, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper.
Come on. Go, man. Let's go get some beer, Bubba. Go, man. Go get one.
Mike Metters and his longtime companion Dozer are regular customers at the River Valley Inn on South Parkway in Huntsville.
Go, man. Pay the lady. Go. Pay the lady.
A Dozer, a 12-year-old full-blooded pit bull, is such a common sight at the bar that folks just treat him like any other customer. And most times, to hear bartender Jeannie Huskett tell it, he's better anyway.
Well, he's one of the more well-groomed customers. He don't get drunk and start fights like some of these regulars we have. Here's your change, Dozer.
Good change. Get some.
Metters and Dozer are inseparable, with Dozer usually handling the money. And when Metters goes, so goes Dozer.
You gotta go? Come on. You going with me? Come on. Let's go have one, Bubba.
They're going to the bathroom together?
Again.
Bar owner Linda Jones is happy to have Dozer as a customer.
He's one of my better customers. Him and Mike are two of our good customers.
One thing's for sure at the River Valley Inn, when Dozer comes in, he sits anywhere he wants.
Dozer is one of the best behaved customers here at the River Valley Inn. He doesn't drink, chase women, or fight, and he always pays. Right, Dozer? At the River Valley Inn, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Won't you let me borrow a few bucks, or you buy this one, okay? This one's on you.
Take it, don't never mind what if he takes it. Don't you take it because he takes it. Don't you take it because he takes it. Because if you do, you're going to fish up in jail, no matter what anybody tells you.
This wasn't exactly your average drug abuse lecture being held Friday at the Huntsville Achievement School.
Same with smoking. Smoke is no good. Anybody can smoke. Anybody can smoke.
Drugs were just one of the many topics being discussed by the speaker, who just happened to be celebrating his birthday, his 103rd birthday.
You ever worry about your next birthday?
Of course, I don't worry about anything.
Why not?
Nothing. What good does it do you? What good does it do you? Worrying.
Born in England in 1887, Benjamin Parkinson moved to the United States in 1910. Today, he is Alabama's oldest living veteran, having served in World War I.
Happy birthday, Mr. Parkinson. Happy birthday to you.
Two things Benjamin Parkinson claims he's becoming tired of: being kissed by the ladies and eating birthday cake.
Mr. Parkinson admits he doesn't get around quite like he used to, and he doesn't worry about anything these days, least of all his next birthday. Is that about right?
Yes, sir.
You looking forward to 104?
Huh?
What about another piece of cake?
No, sir.
At Mr. Parkinson's 103rd birthday at Huntsville Achievement School, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Was there something wrong with the cake?
No, yeah, too much.
Oh, we need Rocky Road.
Rocky
We just
Road.
don't never bring Rocky Road in. Boy, that's the only kind I eat.
Sarah Edmondson owns perhaps the only country store in the world that's literally earned its wings. Sarah's Grocery on the Eva Road in Cullman County near Vinemont has been overshadowed the past 9 years by an airplane. Actually, it's a 1939 D-18 Beechcraft 9-passenger, of course, minus the engines.
Well, most of them go into shock when they first see the airplane, and they come in and want to know, well, who was the drunk that landed that plane, you know? Oh, then they have to know the whole story about the airplane, why and how come and what kind.
The plane was put up as an attention getter and has become quite a landmark.
Oh, yes. It has become a landmark since we put it up. Whenever anybody wants to give directions of where something is out in this community and neighborhood, where they always say, go to the airplane store and turn left or turn right or go 3 miles, you know. So it has definitely become a landmark. Possibly they're going to put it on a road map pretty soon.
Sarah Edmondson's ex-husband Decker, the one who originally put the plane on its pedestal, still stops by from his runway behind the store to fill up his other plane. It was Decker's love of planes that started this whole thing.
One thing about Sarah's Grocery, it is quite different from any other country store in the world. And above all, as you can see, it ain't hard to spot. You're cleared for takeoff. In Vinemont, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Got close to that thing there, Decker.
3 weeks ago, Darrell Huey, Barry Rogers, and Renee Eddy were practically just ordinary citizens of Pulaski, Tennessee. Today, well, they're the talk of the town, or better yet, singers of the town. Huey and Rogers wrote the song, We Are One, We Are Brotherhood. And since they've recorded it, it's become a hit in Pulaski.
Well, Jamie, we was watching some film footage here about 3-4 weeks ago with Klan March and everything, and we decided we'd just sit down and write a little song about this for all the good people here in Pulaski, because they have, the Klan and the Aryan Nations have just came in and they've just almost practically destroyed the town's people.
Of course, most of you know Pulaski as the birthplace of the Klan, and unfortunately, the Klan still claims this town home. But for lifelong residents like 68-year-old Roy McElroy, this town ain't bad no matter what.
What kind of town is it?
It's good.
Good?
Yes, sir.
We are one. We are brotherhood. Fighting for the right to be free.
Folks like Roy McElroy, there's no better place than Pulaski, Tennessee. And after visiting here myself a whole bunch of times, I can see why. With or without the Klan, Pulaski, Tennessee is truly a beautiful town with a lot of nice people. And they're right, this is one of them. In Pulaski, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. Y'all come up here and visit sometime.
The opportunity to shoot that pig is one of the things I remember about the first ones that I remember of, and it was cooked right here. I was just a little fella.
Ever since L.O. Bishop's first barbecue, and the big time, according to him, was held right here on this very spot, he's had barbecue on his mind.
Maybe if somebody got married, we'd have a barbecue. If they got divorced, or somebody was born, or somebody died. Maybe if the wind just changed directions, you know, and we all felt good, we'd have a barbecue.
Since 1976, L.O. Bishop, on the family home place near Cherokee, has been cooking his own special brand of barbecue. L.O. Bishop's barbecue is somewhat legendary in these parts.
Everybody likes to think what they do is the best, but we say our barbecue is different. It's in so much as we've cooked it more than most barbecues.
Hickory cooked the old-fashioned way, Bishop and his family cook around 250 pork shoulders a week, vacuum pack it and send it to the stores ready to eat, along with his special 3-in-1 sauce.
How about the thing they say, well, pork barbecue's not good for you?
Oh, that's a bunch of bull. There's been a lot more people died that couldn't get pork than ever has from eating it.
L.O. Bishop's barbecue is available in a lot of local grocery stores in North Alabama.
It's L.O. Bishop's dream to have his barbecue on every table in America. And at the rate he's going, he'll probably do just that. One more time on that Hog House jingle.
Says, shake me not and I'll be cool. Shake me a little, I'll be gentle. Shake me a lot and I'll get hot.
Put me some hot stuff on here.
Oh, we're gonna
in Bishop, Alabama, eating L.O. Bishop barbecue with L.O. Bishop himself, I'm your country rover, Jamie Cooper. This stuff's good.
Well, thank you.